Gelliprinting is one of my favorite techniques when it comes to art and junk journaling. I'm so in love with this technique and I'm so in love with all the gorgeous results that you get in no time with just a Gelliplate, some acrylic paint and a brayer. Hi, I'm Susanne from Susie's Journal Adventure and welcome to my Gelliprinting adventures. So today this is going to be the first video of a new series on my channel, and I want to share some videos with you where I show you my approach on Gelliprinting, where I show you the basics of Gelliprinting and also some special techniques that I absolutely love to use. So this first video is an absolute perfect video for Gelliprinting beginners. I want to tell you something about the Gelliplate in general. What is it? What can you do with it? And what supplies you need. And then we're going to dive into the basic technique of doing some layering with your Gelliplate. And in the end, of course, I want to tell you how I clean my Gelliplate. So these are the Gelliplates that I own. This is a bigger one. It has the size DIN A4, approximately 30 centimeters by 21 centimeters. And the smaller one has the size approximately 18 centimeters by 13 centimeters. So the brand of my two Gelliplates is Gelpress. You also get Gelliplates from other brands, but I decided to buy these ones because I wanted to have a bigger one, and especially the bigger ones are really expensive in my opinion. So this was the thing that made me buy these ones from Gelpress, and I'm absolutely happy with these. I try to put the link for these two Gelliplates down in the description box if they are still available. You also get these Gelliplates in other sizes. You get even round ones, bigger ones, square ones. So you just have to check out what you want to use and what you need. For me, it was important to have one Gelliplate that fits perfectly the size of the paper that I use. And in Germany, this is DIN A4 standard size. So this plate is perfect. If you live in another country of this world, you might use US ledger size or another standard size. So please check out what fits your normal papers that you use. So the Gelliplates usually come in these plastic packaging thingies. They lay flat in here, and you really have to make sure that when you store them in your shelf or in your drawer, that they lay really flat. So it is recommended to store them in these packagings. And when I take the Gelliplate out, you can easily see that this is a really soft material. You can bend it. I mean, you should not do this. I usually don't do this. I don't bend them, so don't do it. But I just want to demonstrate this is a really soft material, flexible. And the Gelliplate itself is, of course, reusable. It's a printing surface that allows you to create stunning monoprints without the need for a traditional printing press, for example. And a monoprint is a print that you can't create again. So you do a print, you pull the print with your paper, and this is a totally unique piece of art. You won't be able to do exactly the same design, the same pattern, the same colors once more. So that's why it is called monoprint. The surface of your Gelliplate is smooth, and when you go over with your finger, you have the feeling that it is slightly sticky. I mean, it sticks a little bit also on this plastic mat that I have here on my desk. And this sticky surface allows you to transfer paint and texture onto paper and even on fabric. So the Gelliplates are typically made from a special gel-like material that is a combination of mineral oil and polymers. The texture mimics gelatin, which was originally used for monoprinting, but modern Gelliplates are synthetic, making them more durable and reusable. And you can even find tutorials on YouTube that show you how you can create your own Gelliplate. To be honest, I thought about not buying my Gelliplates, but instead making them by myself. But then I thought, okay, I don't have any experience in Gelliprinting, or I didn't have any experiences in Gelliprinting at that time. And actually to buy the ingredients to make the Gelliplate was very expensive in the end. And I thought, okay, if this is a fail, I lost more money in comparison when I buy the Gelliplate. But I've seen some videos and they were all happy with their own homemade Gelliplate, so please feel free. Maybe this is an option for you. I'm really happy with my 2 Gelliplates that I bought. The idea of gelatin printing has been around for a long time. Artists have been experimenting with gelatin-based surfaces for monoprinting for decades. However, the modern reusable Gelliplates, as I have one here, were popularized by the company Gelli Arts around 2011. Their innovation made this technique much more accessible to artists and crafters worldwide. So what supplies do you need? So I think one of the best things about Gelliprinting is that you don't need a lot of fancy equipment, to be honest, and that you get beautiful results with nearly no supplies in just a few minutes. So you need, of course, the Gelliplate and then acrylic paint. So I use cheap ones and more expensive ones. So this means high quality and lower quality paint. I will tell you more details about the paints in another episode. You also need a brayer. I have these ones here. This is a bigger one in size, this is a smaller one, but they both work perfect. And I'm also trying to link these for you as well in the description box. Of course, you need paper. I will tell you more about the different papers as well. And I also have an old book always laying on my table when I Gelliprint, so that I can get rid of the paint that is still on my brayer on these pages. And these pages are great collage fodder for another project. And of course, for adding texture and interest, you can use so many different supplies like fabric stencils, texture tools, found objects, and all this stuff. I will go in that in detail in all of the upcoming videos in this series, but not today. Today this is going to be a basic video where we only use acrylic paints, the brayer and paper. So when I do jelly printing, I always put some paper underneath my jelly plate, and this is a thin baking paper. It is important to use some paper that is non-sticky, or you can also just put this jelly plate onto a sheet of plastic. I could also put it on this mat that I have laying here, but I want to make it easier for you to see the colors that I apply on this plate, and it is a little bit easier when there's something white underneath. So don't use normal paper under your jelly plate, because it will take some time when you when you dive into jelly printing, and then the paper will totally stick on your jelly plate, and it might not be easy for you to pull it off. So it's easy to use some kind of baking paper or something plasticky underneath. So let me show you how jelly printing works. So you take your acrylic paint. I'm using this Liquitex basic acrylic, and I love this for jelly printing. You apply a small amount of this paint directly onto your jelly plate. I'm using this smaller brayer because of the size of the jelly plate, and I'm spreading this paint evenly on my plate. I don't use a lot of pressure. I just go over here very slightly until the paint is evenly spreaded. It is a totally smooth surface, as you can see here. So I'm brayering this on my book here. And now I take a sheet of white paper. This is 160 GSM cardstock. I put it on my jelly plate without, moving it. And I'm going over with my hand carefully to make the paper kind of, stick to the jelly plate. Here as well, you don't need a lot of pressure. You just go over it like you would pet, like you would pet your jelly plate. So, and for this is it. You can pull the print and you have a clean jelly plate and you have the paint on your paper. As you can see here, obviously I just applied this yellow-green acrylic paint, but you also see this texture here with a purple color, and you have these stains. And obviously this is because my jelly plate was not clean. So let me tell you at this point how I clean, or if I clean my jelly plate. To be honest, I don't clean my jelly plate. You see, you can find a lot of videos or recommendations online where people clean their jelly plates with baby wipes or just under water, and then they dry it with a towel. To be honest, I was not lucky when I tried these techniques. The baby wipes left some kind of a, I don't know, coat on my jelly plate. And when I used it after cleaning it, I felt like it did not grab the paint very well. The paint, I had these spaces where the paint always went on the outside, and I had some like holes in the paint, and I felt like this took me about, I don't know, 5 or 6 rounds of printing until I got rid of this coat that I had on my plate after the baby wipe cleaning. So I don't like this, and I have never done it anymore since the first try, or I tried it several times, but this is just not the technique that works for me. And I also don't love cleaning my jelly plate under water. I mean, I like this grunge. This is why I love jelly printing. If you're a clean girl and you want totally clean prints, then my technique is not the thing for you. Then you might want to clean your jelly plate after every print you do. Then do it. That's perfect if it works for you. For me, it doesn't work at all. So how do I clean my plate? Actually, it's just when I'm finished with my printing process and I have all my papers, I just take a paper, put it on. Then I clean my studio desk, I clean my brayer under the water, I pack away my book and my paints, and then after approximately 5, 6 or 7 minutes, I pull the print, the last print, I mean the leftover paint, I pull it, and you should have all of the leftover paint that was on your jelly plate on your paper. And so this is the cleaning for me. I mean, as you see here, I always have a little bit of paint left over on my plate, but this is totally what I love. So that's the perfect cleaning process for me. Okay, then let me show you what you can do with this paper in the next step. So you just take another color. I chose this purple here. I'm again applying some paint on the plate. You really want to try to have it very thin on your plate. You don't want to have a thick coat of paint here. And I hope you can see this on the camera. This is nearly translucent. You can see this blue leftover paint through the coat of acrylic paint that I apply here. So it's a little bit translucent, and that's exactly what you want to have. So I'm now taking the same sheet of paper again, and I want to show you how it looks like if we print here directly over this. Okay, that's perfect. And now you have this situation here. So obviously the purple covers the first layer. And as this purple is opaque, you can see this sign here. This means the color is opaque, and the green color was half opaque, half translucent. So using the purple as the second layer here, covers the green nearly completely. And this is a thing that you really have to understand. You have to understand how the layering works and how you have to use your acrylic paints, the different shades of the paints, and the fact that some paints are more opaque and the others are more translucent. So I have obviously this leftover paint here. This is a little bit, no, this is not, I mean, when I go here on here with my finger, I can take the color off. So it is not dry yet. So I just apply a little bit more here. And this is now very, very thin here. So I take another sheet of paper. And I pull the print. So here you can see that it is darker here than here. And this was obviously where I had, in the end, 2 layers of the purple paint in comparison to here where I only have 1 layer. So let's use some black for some more contrast. And I'm applying a little bit less paint than I applied before. And I'm not spreading it evenly. I just want to have some accents. That's enough. I take the same sheet of paper. And I pull the print. And you immediately have some fun paper here. You can cut it down to size to make a postcard, a journaling card. You can go on layering your paints on here. You can take it as collage fodder. So isn't this fun? I mean, you have this fun paper after approximately 2 minutes of printing. And I think it is also really, really great that you nearly don't have any drying time. The first layer is dry immediately if you apply only a thin layer of paint. And I mean here, this paint is obviously, I hope you can see it in the camera, not dry yet, here in the middle. Can you see this? The reason is I applied more black and I didn't spread it evenly on the plate. So yeah, this is not dry, but this is not very wet. So this will be dry in just a few minutes. This is totally dry completely here. There is nothing coming off. And this is great. I mean, with which medium do you have no drying time? This is gorgeous. You can print and you can immediately use the papers for your project that you want to make. So obviously I have this left over here now. So let me add another layer of paint to take this off. A little bit more. So when you put another layer of paint over the first layer, you have the situation that the second layer that you apply now, this pink, this light pink color here, you know, takes off the first layer underneath when you pull the print. I will go into detail in another video concerning this layering technique directly on the Gelliplate. For today, I just want to show you the layering by pulling different prints with one sheet of paper. So I will just use the back side of this paper for the print. And now I have to leave the paper a little bit longer on the jelly plate than before, because it takes a little bit of time for the light pink layer now to kind of melt with the first layer, the black leftover paint in this case. So I will leave it here for approximately 1 minute and then I will pull the print. Okay, approximately 1 minute is over. So I will pull the print now. And you can easily see here, when you carefully pull the paper, if the second layer takes off also the first layer of the paint. If this is not the case, you can easily put down the paper again and wait 1 minute longer, for example. But in my case, I can already see this is perfect. So this is the print that I have now. And I mean, can you see this? This is the leftover paint from this paper here, the purple. Can you see these grungy edges and all the leftovers here? And of course these black dots here, or this is completely dry now. I can go over here. This is totally smooth and I have nothing on my hands. And here the grungy edges. I love this. And I mean, this is just, I'm here working only with one layer here. I mean, this is just the basic thing that I want to show you in this video. We can get even more grunge, of course, by adding more layers, using the jelly plate more. And yeah, this will be so much fun. So stay tuned for the next videos. Yeah, but this is actually, this would be the cleaning print for my jelly plate now. So this was the last print. My jelly plate is clean, at least in my eyes, it is clean. And that's just perfect for me. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I always have a lot of fun when I jelly print. And in the next video, I want to show you how different papers work on the jelly plate, which papers I prefer for jelly printing, and which papers you might even be surprised that you can use for jelly printing. So stay tuned, have a lovely day, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.